Uhuru Sasa, which means freedom now in Kiswahili. You're listening to Diasporic music, and we just heard William Smokey Robinson sing Cruising, and we're getting ready to pay tribute to Al Prentice Bunchy Carter, the leader of the Southern California chapter of the Black Panther Party. Harold Wilton is going to be talking about his relationship to Al Prentice Bunchy Carter and the contribution that Al Prentice Bunchy Carter made to the struggle of Africans, and oppressed humanity. You are listening to Diasporic music on Black Power 96 with Melinda Francis, Norman Richmond, and Lisa Watson is on the buttons. And joining us on the line from Los Angeles, California is Harold Wilton, a veteran of the Black Power movement, a former member of SNCC and the Southern California chapter of the Black Panther Party. He is still active, and one of the things that he worked on with a lot of other people from around the country and around the world is the freedom for our comrade Rochelle McGee. And Comrade Harold, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you all?
Wonderful, as Sam Cooke would say. I'm speaking for myself.
That's right.
I'm doing well. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Now I wanted to talk about we wanted to talk about Al Prentice Bunchy Carter, but I think it would be I'm gonna let Melinda since Melinda didn't know Bunchy personally. You know Bunchy personally, and I knew him personally, but I think it's apropos that someone that didn't know Al Prentice Bunchy Carter, let her kick the ball, get a kick at the can first.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what's the first thing that you would say? I mean, Norman likes to talk about his singing. What's the first thing that you would like the listeners to know about him?
Well, he could sing, and he was also a great poet. Two poems that I can remember that he wrote was Black Mother, and also the poem on Green Dolphin Street, which was a popular jazz standard, made even more popular by Miles Davis. And he was, again, a great dancer.
I don't want to cut Melinda, but also I understand David Hayes said that he probably could have made the Olympics as a swimmer.
Yeah, he was a good swimmer, and Bunchy was a very, very talented person all around. If things were changed, I would like to have had long conversations with him about jazz. I didn't find out until maybe 10 years later that he was deep into jazz.
You're listening to Diasporic music on Black Power 96. I understand he was a painter, they say. I never knew that.
I'm not quite sure. It's first to me, too. But I wouldn't doubt it. He was very talented, And as you said, he was a good singer.
Yeah, they used to sing that song, "Whoa, I've got love for my baby." They changed the lyric to "I got love for my people." It was John Huggins, Elaine, and Bunchy would sing the falsetto parts. But he also used to sing a lot of the Stevie Wonder stuff. He could sing falsetto, but I guess like being versatile, uh, he sang in his natural voice as well as the falsetto. Even Kwame Ture talked about. There's some interviews with Kwame Ture talks about Bunchy, and he always mentioned Bunchy could sing falsetto. Yeah,
Right. Could I mention one of Bunchy's sisters, Alma Carter Prince? She transitioned to the ancestors September 3rd, 2025. So I would like to acknowledge her, and may she rest well in peace.
Al Prentice Bunchy Carter was it 9 children, and his father, I think his father was named Elmore. I guess as we would say in the South, he was Elmo, but Elmore. He passed away pretty young. He was Miss Carter was left to raise, was it 9 children basically on her own?
Okay, it was 11 children. Nola Mae Carter was married twice, and it was a total of 11 children.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
And she was from
Shreveport? Go ahead.
No, you got it wrong. It's Shreveport.
Shreveport. Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, Shreveport was I guess that was a place where you had some real controversial African people that came out of there. I think Richard Williams, Sarita's daddy, Johnny Cochran, and Paul Mooney was born right outside of there. But and also our man Bright Eyes, Masai Hewitt, right?
Yeah, Masai Hewitt, who not a lot of people talk about or know about. He was the Southern California chapter of the Black Panther Party. Great orator, great organizer. Lived maybe 3 blocks down from where I grew up. Grew up in the Avalon Garden projects.
Mm-hmm. He came. I think he was quite a few years older than me, and I have a couple of years on you. But Bunchy, I'm not. I think they call it, his nickname was Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes or Masai was he might have been born in 41 or 42, right?
Yeah, 41, 42. He was recruited by Bunchy, and in real time, I remember being young and listening to Masai. Again, he was very, very articulate, very principled, and a great organizer of the Southern California chapter of the Black Panther Party, later Central Committee of the Black Panther Party.
Yeah, I remember he had a voice like Paul Robeson. He had a bass baritone voice, right?
Yes, sir. Bunchy, I would like to talk about how I met Bunchy.
Great, that was the next question I was going to ask you.
Okay. Having grown up in the Avalon Garden projects, we used to go to a store called White Fronts, which is similar to Walmart here in occupied America, if you will. And we would go down a street called Central Avenue. There was this building on 79th and Central. And we passed by and we looked in and saw these pictures of Jamil Alamein, H. Rap Brown, Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, and other Panthers, right? So we walked in and we saw this brother. We didn't know who he was. I know he was sharp. He had on what we call biscuit shoes. His slacks were perfect perfectly ironed, and he had on a white shirt that particular day and a leather piece with the big fro. So we went in and he started, it was the first time this is before the internet or actually being able to see people in videos, right? It was his first brother, other than Jamil Alamein and Kwame Ture, who we saw on the news primarily, that was articulating liberation and revolution, and he was on it, right? And we were mesmerized by his articulation. So he talked about the Black Panther Party, the different programs of the Black Panther Party. This is 1968, early 1968. So after he finished, he asked us, did we want to be in the Black Panther Party? We said, no, we want to be in SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. And he laughed, he chuckled, and he said, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a number, and you can call this number. It was a number to Ron Wilkins, who was the Western Regional Chairman of the SNCC organization. And the main office was in Los Angeles, and we eventually became a part of SNCC. I saw Bunchy several times after that. I remember at Fremont High, Fremont High had a demonstration protest that lasted about a year or so, but this was like in maybe December '68. And Bunchy was at one of the events, and he was articulating revolution. And I forgot to mention also I call them my sandbox comrades and I. We were in this Shotokan karate class at what was called the Black Congress here in Los Angeles on Broadway and Florence. There was a lot of different Black organizations, and at the time, including the Black Panther Party of Southern California, had an office in there, and Bunchy would come through as well as John Huggins. And maybe we were getting on his nerves. We would ask him and John Huggins questions. And I remember one time when Elders was running for president, I remember John Huggins giving us these badges. I had mine for years. Elders was running under the Peace and Freedom Party. And there are a lot of other memories, but they're not coming up yet in my mind. But, Bunchy had a lot of respect in the community.
I don't want to cut you, but could you talk, John Huggins, John Huggins was only 23 when he passed away, and I think, Bunchy was 27.
6.
But 26, okay. Okay, but Bunchy, John had ties to the Caribbean. His parents were from Nevis, and Nevis is the same place that Minister Farrakhan's mother was born in Nevis, and Cecily Tyson is Farrakhan's. They're cousins, and John's aunt. Constant Baker Motley, she was might have even been a senator. She worked with Thurgood Marshall. How much time did you spend with John Huggins?
Okay, most of the time spent with John Huggins was at the Black Congress. Having said that, the Panthers eventually moved out of the Black Congress formation. Again, there were several organizations in the Black Congress, and that was where most of my communications with John Huggins occurred. Well, most of our conversations, young sandbox comrades and I, that's where most of our conversations happened. In addition, although we didn't talk to her much, we would see Erica Huggins at the Black Congress. Again, there were several organizations, including us organization, that were part of the Black Congress. And that's where we met a lot of different people from not just the Black Panther Party and us, but other organizations, CORE. I don't know if you remember CORE. In addition, I think, I'm not 100% sure, I think the NAACP had an office space in there as well.
Mm-hmm. You had, didn't you have like two sets of Black Panthers at one point in the Black Panther Party, Bunchy's Black Panther Party, and you had another Black Panther Party?
Right. That's the famous speech where Bunchy said there's only one Black Panther Party in Southern California, and that's us, paraphrasing. Yeah. So some of those individuals joined the Southern California chapter, the Black Panther Party.
Melinda, you have any more questions?
Well, I was just wondering, you never said your story, how you met Bunchy.
Oh, that's where we met him in the office on 79th and Central. I talked about it.
No, I'm talking about Norman.
Oh, Norman. Well, Norman went to free. Attempted to
high school with him, right?
Huh?
Norman, you went to high school with him.
Well, Norman.
Harold, me and Harold went to the same high school, but we got kicked out of the high school.
No, Norman, but, we were asked to help the other kids. Remember, social adjustment.
No,
yeah.
Bunchy was 4 years. Bunchy was 4 years older than me. And Bunchy, first of all, Bunchy went to prison, I think, when he was, Bunchy joined the Nation of Islam when he was 14.
Correct.
And then he left and went to prison, came out, and I met Bunchy at Los Angeles City College. We were going to LACC. We were going to LACC at the time. Masai, I was trying to say who was there at that time. Sagidi Abdullah, who went on to produce so Gidi Abdullah, Carl Dice was there, and he went on to produce the SOS Man and Eddie Kendricks, and he and Bunchy were very close. They organized a talent show at Los Angeles City College. Also, Fred Gorey, who went on to be Masai Kariga Kenyatta. He was a big DJ in Detroit, and he used to give me all of Bob Marley's albums. He went there. Earl Randall, the brother who wrote the song "God Bless Our Love" with Al Green. There were so many people that were going there at that. And my cousin Ross, Jimmy Hyman, Jimmy Williams, he was going there, and Hardy Williams, his brother, Donald Williams, his other brother. Everybody was at LACC because LACC was a free. All you had to do was graduate. I forgot. I was talking to someone the other day, and I think you had to pay $6.60, and you could go to LACC.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me say something about Brother Norman. Brother Norman is an unsung hero. I remember, and that we didn't meet until social media officially, but I remember when you took the stand against the war in Vietnam and didn't go. This was before Muhammad Ali, and I remember you and others taking that stand. And I think people should know about that, you know. Let me say one more something else about Bunchy. Bunchy went to prison for alleged armed robbery in the early 60s. There he met Minister of Information, Eldridge Cleaver, and they, had political education classes, and often wonder also if Comrade George Jackson was part of that, because he was in Soledad, or they were in Soledad, so he was in Soledad around that time. And they, when Eldridge got out, I think in 66 or 67, he became a member of the Black Panther Party, and he kept in contact with Bunchy, and he brought Bunchy into the Black Panther Party in 1967. I think Bunchy got out in late 66 from Soledad, and they asked him would he mind organizing the Southern California chapter, and he did. Like they said, the rest is history.
And he was there was a place called the Teen Post.
Yeah.
Teen Post was it 79th in San Pedro or 70? Where was it?
79th and Avalon, 79th and Central. That's where we met Bunchy. We didn't know who he was. I failed to mention, I think, we didn't know who Bunchy was this whole time. And when we left, when we were leaving the 79th and Central Teen Post, I said, yeah, brother, what's your name? He said, my name, first time I heard this, he said, my name is Bunchy, like a bunch of greens. And the rest is history. Yeah.
So Cleaver, Eldridge, Bunchy brought Eldridge Cleaver to the Teen Post in just before I left California, and Eldridge spoke.
Right.
Yeah, Eldridge was saying some stuff that if I repeat, we would lose our license. I remember he had on a suit, and he was talking about Papa Rage, as they call him. He was like the Pied Piper. He could rap.
Yeah.
And he could rap, but I think he probably could put pencil to paper better than anybody that I knew.
Yeah, well, Eldridge was another inspiration for myself and the comrades. Now, I don't curse no more, but I remember, where South Park is here in L.A.
Yes,
yeah.
Right.
It had a stage, a performing stage, where the Panthers had a Free Huey rally, as we used to call them there. And that was the first time I saw Eldridge speak. Again, this is before social media. And he was cursing. And we dug that. And, but he was also articulate, very, very articulate. And I would say Bunchy, Jamil Alamein, H. Rap Brown, Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture. Those individuals. Oh, and also of all things, I never should forget this Malcolm X. So those were our influences, and I cherish that. Glad.
Yeah, but the thing about
I
cut you off. No, I cut you off. Sorry.
I'm glad we came along during that period. We got to meet all of them. We got to meet Jamil, Kwame Ture when we were in SNCC. And, Malcolm left this life before we actually started organizing. But those were four individuals, and Fannie Lou Hamer. Those were individuals that set it off for us, as they say.
Well, the thing about Al Prentice Bunchy Carter, I used to laugh at people all the time because Al Prentice Bunchy Carter would make NWA and all these young rappers. I mean, he would make them sound like Mother Teresa. I mean, Bunchy.
Yeah.
Bunchy. How they say it? Bunchy could cuss.
Yeah. Well, let me say this about Bunchy. Bunchy's back in those days. If family members went to prison, people weren't necessarily talking about that, But Bunchy's younger brother, Gregory Carter, and I went to a school here in LA called Charles Drew Middle School. And that's where we met. And we used to bag on each other. That means shooting on each other, playing the dozens on each other. But I never knew that he was Bunchy's brother after we met Bunchy. I never knew that until Bunchy was assassinated. But
not just explaining the world, but changing it.